Welcome back to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Menti. We continue our conversation now with Senator Joe Vitale. You were the author of a bill that would expand access to medical marijuana. What is the status of that bill right now?
Well, the bill is ready to go, but it's sort of wedded to the recreational marijuana bill.
Why?
Well, it's the leadership has decided that it's a good strategy, so it would encourage.
Is that a good strategy for you or the people that need medical marijuana?
Well, probably not. Because there's an access issue today, and there's a product issue. So the cultivators really are trying to do their best to ramp up production, because we are enrolling more and more people in the medical marijuana program, and so there is a shortage. There's going to be even worse shortage if we don't get these bills done.
Was this purely political?
Well, in a way, it is. Look, the adult use bill is obviously the most controversial. The medical bill is not controversial. And I think the prevailing wisdom is that as long as we, maybe holding off the medical bill will encourage members who really want the medical bill to vote for the adult use bill. There are people who support recreational marijuana for a variety of different reasons. One is for the resources, the money that we'll get from the taxes, right? Because look, why give the drug dealers that money, right? And the black market, let the state benefit from that. It'll be a safer product. It won't be tainted. It'll be sold in stores. It'll be highly regulated. So in that way, it's a good thing. For those who care more about civil justice and the disproportionate share of people of color going to jail because of their color, versus a white person just maybe gets slapped on the wrist.
But you can deal with that without legalizing marijuana, right?
You can decriminalize it, but it doesn't but the argument will be that you don't get rid of the black market. You don't get rid of the drug dealers. Yeah, you'll decriminalize it, so you get a ticket, right? $10 ticket, $15, whatever it is. Then you go out and buy it from the drug dealer again, who also sells cocaine and heroin and oxycodone and all the other opioids. And so it is sort of for the dealer and for the buyer, it's a pathway to other drugs, right? And it's a violent business, the drug business, right? So there's that value. I mean, initially I was very opposed to adult use because I thought it was the wrong social experiment to take before we knew exactly what would happen in other states. Colorado, Washington, and others who have done this for a few years. But in terms of it being tie-barred to the adult use bill, it is the way it is. You're disappointed by that, though? Well, I'm a little discouraged that we haven't moved the adult use bill, and therefore we haven't moved the medical bill. Although the governor and the Department of Health, they do have the authority to issue new licenses under the existing law. Right? So this bill does more than just allow more growers, more dispensaries, and greater access for patients. The adult use bill will also generate lots of income. And so, I mean, in that respect, it's important to the state in terms of people who care about the budget and the coffers and the money. On the medical side, I'm doing all I can in that bill to make sure that the medical business doesn't get trampled by the adult use bill. In other states where they legalized adult use of marijuana after they did the medical piece, you saw the medical business drop down because people were just going to the adult use dispensary, buying their product and not going to the doctor, not going to find out whether or not the pain they're suffering from is something that's important or serious, right? They just go, why go to the doctor? Why spend the $50?
Right.
I'm going to go to the adult dispensary. So it's important to do the medical bill right, to keep the price lower than the black market, lower than the adult use cost, which would be good for the medical piece. So they'll maintain a profit margin.
It's interesting you call it adult use because it's been called over and over again recreational marijuana. Do you reject that term?
Well, it is adult. Will legally be adult use. Will there be people underage smoking weed? Of course, there are today. There are those who argue that in states like Colorado, they have not seen an uptick in use by those under 21. Well, I don't think we've seen enough. I just think it's counterintuitive to think that once you make marijuana available in any form, smoking it, eating it, whatever, that there's not going to be some consequence, intended or otherwise, for folks who aren't old enough to buy it.
Just quickly, you came to your position on recreational marijuana or adult use marijuana before they tied it to medical. Mm-hmm. So that had nothing to do with your vote.
No, it was a tough decision to support it. It still was a difficult decision to support it.
I wanted to quickly get to, I know we're running out of time, but I wanted to quickly get, just because I mentioned that I was going to bring it up, the safe injection sites. Mm-hmm. Where someone can go that's a drug user to inject heroin under the care of physicians and do it safely. Mm-hmm. Are you for that?
I don't know yet. Senator Gill and I were the two lead sponsors of this syringe exchange program, which allowed individuals to buy or to obtain clean syringes in return for used ones, so they weren't sharing needles and spreading HIV and hepatitis C and other diseases. So we've been down this road, how difficult it can be to change sort of the mindset of drug use. Allowing someone to come into a facility and inject an illegal substance, right? Heroin is a legal substance, cocaine is a legal substance.
And committing a crime.
And commit a crime and sort of be okay with that and let the law enforcement turn the other cheek, look the other way, which would all be worked out ahead of time. But look, for 30,000 feet, all that in other states and countries, they do this in France and other places around the country in the developed world. There are safe injection sites. It doesn't increase drug use. It does make people safer. It cuts down on the spread of bloodborne pathogens like HIV, hepatitis C. So
it doesn't condone or promote an illegal activity?
No, no one's going to say, oh, gee, they can do it here. I think I'll take up taking heroin.
Or if I'm going to try it for the first time, that seems like a good place to go.
It's not going to happen.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. Senator Joe Vitale. Jersey Matters continues right after this.
Next on Jersey Matters, a North Jersey mayor who was indicted but reelected. We'll hear his story when Jersey Matters continues.